Hi, good day. Welcome to software engineering tutorial session. In this session, I will be discussing about sequence diagram. So as far as the interaction diagrams are concerned, there are three types of interaction diagrams. One is communication diagram, and second is sequence diagram, and third is timing diagram. As shown here, in our syllabus, we are not seeing the communication diagram and the timing diagram. We see only sequence diagram. Okay, so what is sequence diagram? Generally, the sequence diagram is used by the developers because they are very simple. It is helpful in modeling the interactions between objects in a single use case. Okay, they show how the different parts of a system interact with each other to carry out a function and the order in which the interaction occurs when a particular use case is executed. Okay, so in a simpler words, a sequence diagram shows different parts of a system in a sequence to get something done. So in short, I just write here a sequence diagram. What it will do, important point is it shows different parts of a system working. It shows actually different parts of a system work in a sequence. Okay. Now we have some sequence diagram notations. So let us see that each object in a sequence diagram, there has a column and the message exchange between them, and they are represented by some symbols which I'll show you. For example, I'm just changing the slide now, so I'll just go for another slide. Slide number 2. Okay. First is make sure that you understand this lifeline notation. Lifeline notation. Okay, this is the lifeline notation. It will be seen like this, and inside this you will have an object. Okay. When you see that all the sequence diagram, they are made up of several of these lifelines notations. Okay, they are arranged horizontally across the top of the diagram. And another important thing you should understand that no two lifeline notations should overlap each other. Okay, so no two lifeline notations should overlap each other. Okay. Now, with generally this notation, the lifeline notation, you will see with an actor element symbol, okay, is used for a particular sequence diagram. For example, you see generally you will not see like this. Sometimes you will see like this also. You will have an actor. Okay, this is called an actor. Okay, and for this actor, it will be shown. The lifeline will be shown in this way. So a lifeline with an entity element, okay, represents system data. For example, you take any customer service application, okay, then there the customer entity would manage all the data related to a customer only. This, okay. sometimes you will have a lifeline with boundary element like this also. This is entity. Okay. So a lifeline with boundary element indicates system boundary or software element in system. Maybe user interface, screen, databases, as we have seen, gateways or menus. All those things will come in this. Okay. So the boundary is like this. Another symbol. Boundary. All these symbols you will see in the diagram. Okay. Then next, let's come to the activation bar. Okay, I think this is understood. I'll go for next. Lifeline notation. I think you have understood it. So I'll go to next slide. Yes.
Sorry, Dr. I find.
Yes.
Doctor, for the last 4 shapes, the last slide.
Yeah.
The difference between them.
Difference between?
Between 4 shapes. Object.
Yeah, I have written the names. I'm recording this. When you watch it, you see that I have written the name, boundary and actor, all this. I have written already the names. Okay.
Just shape and name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next is activation bars. What is activation bar? Activation bar is nothing but a box, okay, that is placed on the lifeline. It is used to indicate object is active or initiated, okay, during an interaction between two objects. And the length of this rectangle indicates the duration of the object staying active. For example, I'll show you a sequence diagram. Suppose if you have one object here. Okay, and another object here. Okay, so now in this lifeline, you will, as I have told you that activation bar is a box placed on the lifeline. This is the lifeline. Okay, so in this lifeline, you will place a box. Okay, like this box. What is the meaning of this box? It is used to indicate that the object is active or initiated during an interaction between these two objects, object 1 and object 2. There is interaction. During this interaction, this object is active or initiated. Okay, and the length of this rectangle is nothing but it indicates the duration of the object staying active. This object is staying active for this duration of time. And you know that in a sequence diagram, interaction generally between two objects occurs when one object wants to send a message to another object. Okay. So now here I'll just show you an example. I think you have another object here. This is also has an activation bar, and you see this want to send a message like this. So what is this? This is message. Object 1 is sending message to another object. It will be shown like this. Okay. Now in this case, you see this is called, this object is sending message to, let's call this as object 1 and I will call this as an object 2. Object 1 is sending message to object 2. Okay, so now that's why this is called as, this activation bar is called as message caller activation bar. We call it as message caller activation bar. And because this object is receiving a message, we call it as message receiver activation bar. We call it as message receiver activation bar. Okay. And you might be observing that you are using arrows, these arrows. Okay. So we have third symbol about arrows. Now these arrows are of two types. Okay. One is used for synchronous message. These arrows are used for sending message. So there are two types of arrows here. There are two types of messages you can send in sequence diagram. One is called synchronous message. SYNCHRONOUS. Synchronous message. And asynchronous message. Yes, asynchronous message. What is the difference between synchronous message and asynchronous message? If an object, let us understand the difference between them. If you are sending a message from one object to another object, okay, then if the object is waiting for its response, then it is called synchronous message. They are in tight communication. Asynchronous message means an object sends a message and doesn't wait for reply. Okay, it will give, it leads up to you. When the reply comes, it will see. So what is the difference? Generally, synchronous messages, okay, they are like this. You see, you have an arrow, and this arrow is filled like this. This is the symbol for synchronous message. Okay. Then you will have asynchronous message also. Okay. How the asynchronous message look like? For asynchronous message, you will have like this arrow and like this. Now you see, in this case, I am using asynchronous message. It means object is sending a message to object 2 and it is not waiting for object 2 for respond. Okay. It is an asynchronous message. And there is one more type of message. Okay. There is one more type of message. I'll just write here. Yeah, there is one more type of message called return messages or reply messages. Return message or reply message. What does it like? Return and reply messages are like this. You see, you will have dotted lines. Okay. These are return messages or reply messages. Similarly, you have many things like creation messages or participation creation messages, and let us discuss all of them here. Okay. Then you have one more.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, what's the difference between synchronous and asynchronous for the job?
Okay, you are not listening?
I know the shape is different, but the job...
No, shape is different. I explained it also. You see, when object 1 sends a message to object 2, and object 1 wait for the response in synchronous message. Okay. In asynchronous message, object 1 will not reply. Object 1 will not wait for reply. Okay, it will send a message and it will not wait for reply. For example, you see, I'm calling you. Okay, when I call you, I will wait for you to lift the call. This is synchronous. But if I send you WhatsApp message, I will not wait for you to respond. I will send you message and I will not wait. I will do my work. When your reply come, I will check. That is asynchronous message. Okay.
Okay, Doctor. It's meaning the asynchronous not can back to the object one.
No. It is not like this. Synchronous message means object one. For example, I'm calling you on phone. Okay. When I call you, I will wait for you to lift the call. Correct.
Yes.
It means when I send a message to you, I'm waiting for reply. I'm not doing any other thing. That is called synchronous message.
Okay.
Asynchronous message means I will send you WhatsApp message, for example, and I will not wait for your response. I will do my work. When you respond, I will see it. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that is called asynchronous message. It means you will not wait for reply. You will send a message and you will not wait for response. Okay, when response comes, you will check it. Synchronous message means you will send a message and wait for response. Okay.
Okay,
Is it
it's
clear
clear.
now? Okay. So now I will go for this third. We have arrows. First is synchronous message, we have seen. Next, we have seen asynchronous message. Then we have also seen return messages or reply messages. Okay. Now let us see. The fourth is called participation creation message. See, when an object is created, it will not live for the entire duration of the sequence events. Correct? It can be created according to the message that is being sent. For example, if you want to create such kind of message, then you will use this arrow like this. Okay, and here you will write create. Okay, this is create message symbol. Similarly, you will have destruction message, participation destruction. Participation destruction message. How it look like? It look like this. You see, we will have an arrow, and here you will have like this destroy, like this written here. I will give an example. For example, you see you have an object here. This is object 1, and here you have an object 2. Okay. Now this is suppose this is the lifeline of this object 1, and suppose you have one more object. Suppose this is object 2, and this is object is not there. Okay. For example, just imagine that you have these two objects. Suppose you are sending a message. So here the object gets activated here. Okay. Now, meanwhile, you want to create a new message. So you will use this creation message. Okay. You'll use this message, create message. When you create, you see this object 3 was not there. When you send this message, a new object called object 3 gets created here. Okay. And now object 3, this is also there. Now, I want object 3. I don't want object 2. So what I will send? I will send a destroy message to object 2. So it gets destroyed. Okay, when I send destroy message to object 2 gets destroyed, and object 3 will continue living. When I don't want object 3 also to destroy, I will send again a destroy message for this also. Okay, then this object also get destroyed. Okay, it will be removed. Understood? Is it clear? Hope the thing is clear to you. Now
Sorry,
I will, yeah.
sorry,
Yes,
Victor,
Nasser?
can you again the yellow line because not clear?
Yeah, yeah. See, initially you have, just I'll explain. See, you have suppose object 1, okay, and object 2 only. And when you want to, this is suppose the activation line of this object, and you are sending a message to this object, it gets instantiated. Okay, this you are sending some message. Okay, you are sending some message. Now you want to create a new object. So for how do you want to create a new object? Here initially the object 3 is not there, so you can use the create message arrow. This is create. This message will create object 3. This will also be active here, instantiated. Okay. Now at this point of time, suppose you don't want this object to, you will send a message called destroy. Destroy means it will kill this object. This object will be killed. If you want to destroy 3, you will send a message destroy to object 3, then object 3 also get destroyed. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, it's clear. Doctor, destroy, its meaning complete the last object.
Destroy means to finish.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So we have seen in arrows, we have seen synchronous message, asynchronous message, return message, creation message, destroy message, right? And there is one more called reflexive message. What is reflexive message? Sometimes you will see in sequence diagram, you will have an object, okay, and you will see the activation bar, and you will see the arrow like this. Okay, this is called reflexive message. When an object sends a message to itself, if this object is sending message to itself, okay, it is called a reflexive message. It is indicated with a message arrow that starts and ends at the same lifeline as shown here. Okay, starts and ends at the same lifeline. This is an example of reflexive message. And second is you have some comments also. Okay, in comments are like this. This is the symbol for comment. Okay, so what can you write here? You can write comment here. This is the symbol for comment. I mean, if you want to mention, for example, you have an object here. Okay, obj object, and this object is having some lifeline, and if you want to mention some comment, you can just put here and write comment about this object. Okay, so is it clear up to here?
Yes, doctor, clear.
And the question is how to draw a sequence diagram. See, sequence diagram, they represent the scenario or flow of events in one single use case. We have seen use case in the previous tutorial, right? So for single use case, you can have a sequence diagram, and the message flow of the sequence diagram is based on the particular use case. So before you start drawing any sequence diagram or decide what interaction should be included in it, you need to draw the use case diagram and be ready for comprehensive description of what the particular use case does. Okay, so if you know about use case, then sequence diagram drawing will be very easy for you. Okay, so all these types of symbols I have shown you about the sequence diagram. Now let us move to problem solving now. Okay, let us solve the problems for sequence diagram now. So let's go back to our files. So I'm going back to our sequence diagram. Yeah, I hope the sheet is on the screen. Okay, now you see develop a sequence diagram showing the interaction involved when a student registers for a course in a university. Courses may be limited in enrollment, so the registration process must include checks that places are available. Assume that the student access an electronic course catalog to find out about available courses. You see, I'll give you an example. When you go to any restaurant, okay, what you will ask waiter, give me the menu. He will give you the menu. In the menu, you will see, okay, you have, tea, you have chicken, you have mutton, okay, you have biryani, or you have mandi, like that. You will see that is called catalog. So in Matam, food is offered. In university, courses are offered. Correct. So if you want to see what are the courses available in the university, you have a course catalog. Okay, that is called course catalog. Do you see? This is called course catalog. Okay, and this is a student object. This is an actor, right? And course catalog will give you information of all the available courses. So you have three objects: student, course catalog, and courses. Okay. Now what student will do through the website? He will send a message, lookup message. Okay, he will send. You see, this is a synchronous message. It means students send a message and wait for the response. Okay, and course catalog object replied with all the available courses. Okay, it will reply with all the display the courses. You see, because it is dotted lines, it is a display message. This is synchronous message, right? Now, after seeing, student has seen, okay, I have so many courses. I will register for software engineering course or programming course, like that. He is registering. For registering, it is sending a message to which is sending a message to course. Okay. Now please see that this is waste. Please cut down. This is not there. This is just to confuse you. Okay, this is not there. Okay. So now student is registering with the course. So when you register the course, you see it's a reflexive message. The course is sending itself that is there any seat available for the student? Check the availability. Yeah, if it is available, then what happens? It is confirming to the students. So please draw this line to here like this. Okay. Confirm message. Is it clear? Problem one. It's a very simple. That student is sending a message for lookup message to register a course. Course catalog will display all the courses. Then student selects a particular course and register with that course. The course module or object checks the availability. If it is, it will give its chance to register. Okay. So let's go for problem number 2 now. You see here the sequence diagram. Draw a sequence diagram. Question number 2. Design a sequence diagram. Student registration for a course seminar. First check the eligibility of the student, then only he can enroll in the seminar. Now you see there are actually as I forgot to mention this, remember this is an object, right? Now sometimes you will have name of the object as here written, name of the object and instance of the object is also mentioned here, and here name of the object is not mentioned. So for only instance of the object is mentioned. It means objects can be complete objects, or they can be some anonymous, the object without name. Okay, these are anonymous objects. These objects have no name. Okay, they are showing only instance, seminar and courses. You see, this is having object name and also as an instance. Okay, a student. A student is the instance. Okay, so here you have a student object. Student object is enrolling, sending a message called enroll student. He want to enroll for seminar. So what seminar module will check is there is a condition that student is eligible for seminar or not. Okay, for that they are sending message to the course that check for this student he is eligible or not. So this course will send a directly message to the student's object to get his seminar history. Okay, so this student object will reply, you see dotted message with the seminar history. They will check and find out the eligibility status of the student. If he is eligible, they will send a message to the seminar eligible. Okay? So when they get this information eligible, they will just forward this status to the student that yes, you are eligible for the seminar. Now there are a couple of things to mention here. You see, student has sent this message. This is what student has sent this message. Enroll student. Okay. Then what happens? First message is this. Second message is student is eligible or not? Okay, they are sending. Whether the student is eligible or not, it is a question which is sent to the course. The course message, the course object is sending third message to get information about the student. When it gets student, you see this third message is to get seminar history, and you see the fourth message is actually a reply to message number 3. Okay, a reply to message number 3. Okay, and you see eligibility status is 5. This is actually a reply to what? This is a reply to message number 2, because here you are asking is the student eligible or not. You are checking the history and saying that yes, the student is eligible. When student is eligible, okay, this is the sixth message they are sending to the student. Now, what is the sixth message? Enrollment status. That this is actually a reply message to message 1. It means student is asking a question that he can enroll or not, and he is getting a reply that yes, he can enroll. From this message 1 to message 6, you see all these 3, 4, 5, 6 are happening at background. Okay. So any questions regarding this?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Yeah, please ask.
Doctor, for the line 3, why reply high line, not cutting line?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can put as a reply message also. But the thing is, you see, the asking about line number 3 or 4?
Number 3.
Yeah, number 3 is, it's a question. It is asking get seminar history. So it should be a without dotted line only.
But
Get
Doctor,
seminar history is a question, and it is giving seminar history as message number 4. It is a reply message. 4 is a reply message. That's why it's a message number 4 is reply to message number 3. Correct? That's why it is dotted lines. It's a written message for message 3. Okay.
Doctor, I think if the reply, if any question or an information or anything, should be cutting line. If it's correct.
Yeah, but message 3 is not reply. Message 3 is not reply. Message 4 is reply for message 3. Message 3 is a question. Get seminar history is a question.
Okay.
It's a sawal, right? Message 4 is a jawab. It's an answer. Answer is nothing written messages.
Okay.
Any other question?
No, thank you.
Okay. So let's go to the next question. Question number 3. Okay. About this Facebook, we will skip Facebook login and authorization system. I will inform to doctor also, because he is of opinion not to have this question. Okay. So let's go to next question. Question number 4. Design a sequence diagram for detailed library management system, including booking of books and validating the membership of the users. It's very easy. You see, for library management system, first you just find out how many objects are required. We need first librarian, correct? And also, of course, book. And a student who is taking book, for him you call it as a member record who is taking this book. And you see, librarian is giving a book to a student, and student is returning a book, or he's giving. This is called a transaction. Okay, so we need one more object called transaction. So we have actually, now you see, initially this transaction is not available. It is not active. Correct. So we don't need it in initially. When we need, we create it with the help of this create message. Okay, so that's why you see in stage 1, librarian is checking. Suppose the student has come with the question that I want a book. Okay, so you see what librarian is doing. First step is checking the availability of the book. They will send to the book object. A book object, okay, is responding. Now you see these two you can give in a line. Okay, here you can give a dotted line. All these are the synchronous messages. Okay, so book is available, it's getting answer. Okay, if the book is available, then book is ready to give, but can I give to the anyone? No, I should give to only correct student. Okay, so that's why message 3 is sent to member record, validate that the student is really a student or not. He is validating. Okay, step number 3, you are verifying that student is the correct student. Now here, after validating it, it is sending one more, check the number of books issued. If it is correct student also, he cannot be given more than 3 books. We are checking the number of books issued to this student. So this is a self activation can happen here. It will check that how many books have been issued. It will give that 3 books or 4 or 5 books are issued. This is the response to this. Okay, so now after this, okay, the book can be issued. It gets a message that the book can be given. So it has to now create a transaction. So you see 6 messages here, create message for transaction object. Okay, creating a transaction. After creating a transaction message, you are adding the transaction details member record. Okay, you are adding this. After adding this information, it is like this. You see, suppose you have you are the customer and you have a bank. If you want to do anything, take money from the bank or withdraw money, save anything, okay, they will record all this. They are called transactions. Okay, similarly in the library also, when you take book or remove or return book, anything, this should be recorded. They are called transactions. So when this after these details are added, and in step 8, okay, about this book, it is mentioned that yes, this book is given to that student, will be mentioned. Update the book status. After updating the book status, you will update the member record. You will give book to the student and you will update the student's record. Okay, so this is about library management system. Okay, is it clear?
Yes,
So
Doctor,
very
but
simple.
I have a question.
Yes.
Doctor, for the first question, the same question last in the line 2 and line 5. Why didn't cutting a line? Because it is not just information.
Here,
Why?
line 2. Here,
In the
you are
line
asking
2,
about this line 2. This.
yes, and line 5. Why?
Yeah, you are good. That's why I told. See, line 2, okay, line 5, they should be dotted. And yeah, line 5, they are reply messages, right? They are dotted messages. Just you have to put it here. It is not mentioned here. It is mentioned in synchronous message. That is also correct. But it is good if you show them as dotted messages. See, this is this one and this one. They are dotted messages. Okay, reply messages. You can give them as a reply also. That is good. That's great. You have a good question, and it means you have understood it. So line 2 and 5 are the reply messages. Good.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, very good. So let's go for the last problem number 5, for hotel management. Okay. So here you need to show that booking of the rooms, checking the customer details and also history. You see here we have no activation live. It means the object cannot be active. Okay? If object cannot be active, means he can send asynchronous messages. It means it will send and not wait for it. You see all the asynchronous messages are shown here. Right? So customer, we have 3 objects. First is customer, another is reception, and third is diary. Diary is nothing but like a transaction only, which will maintain, or it's a computer which has all the information about which room is booked, which is not booked. Okay, like that. And you need one more called reservation. It's like a transaction. So when needed, it will be created using this create message. Okay. So now you see here what is happening. Yeah, customer first message. Okay, this is the first message. Query for available rooms. Customer will come and ask, is the rooms available or not? Okay. Then reception will not directly answer it. Okay. First, it will check its computer, check the room availability. It's second message. Okay. It will check with room availability. In system, it shows the room is available. Yeah. Then it will respond, yes, room is available. This can be given in dotted. Okay. This is dotted. This is 3. Then customer, okay, I want to book this room. He will request for reservation. Then what happens? Receptionist, what it will do? It will temporarily, it will book the room. Okay. Then hold that room, write that, okay, this is for him, and he will create a reservation. This is the actual transaction. But when this actual transaction will complete, when he creates a reservation, okay, this module will give him price. Okay, this is for 1000 riyals or 500 riyals, like that. Okay, indicate with total price. So this receptionist will inform the customer in step 8. You see, this is the price. Advise the customer that this is the price. If customer says, okay, I want to go for the room, he means he accepts the term. Then what happens? At 10th step, customer, he will ask cash, or he will ask him to give the credit card. Okay, then customer will give him cash or give him the credit card. Step number 11. Then what happens at step 12? He will actually reserve the room for him, and he wants to reserve, the reservation is completed. So this is a particular use case we have shown in the sequence diagram. Okay, so there are 12 steps involved for the sequence diagram for hotel management system here in this case. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, Doctor, but line 7 and 8, it's reply or ask.
No, this is not a reply message. These are actually the response messages which are indicating the total price. Because why I am not saying this a response message, because you didn't ask what is the price. You asked for reservation, then the module is giving the price. Okay, so by seeing this output, you may go that you may define that, okay, I want to go for this room or not. Okay, that's why I have written it's a continuous line. Okay, you see question, message 3 is a reply, because you see it's a direct query for room available. Yes, room is available. Okay, request for reservation, okay, what is the what is the response for this request for reservation? There is not only one response. These are sequence of things which happens for doing reservation. Okay, so there is no one single message. That's why we don't write reply message. We show all of them in a messages. Okay.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, that question, just check or what? The best question.
The question is to design the sequence diagram for hotel management, which includes this booking of the room. Here we have shown how to book the room. Okay, also checking the customer details, also whether he has a cash or credit card. Okay, and history means we are checking that whether this room is available or not. This is checking of history. Okay.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, so any questions up to here?
Thank you.
Okay, so problem 6 already we finished from 6 to 10 in the previous session. Okay, so here we will stop, inshallah. Next week we will have quiz in this time only. Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay, so have a nice day. I'll stop here. Okay.
Okay, thank you.